This is a Headgum podcast.
Hello and welcome to Perfect Person, the show where I'm perfect and you are a person. This week I made a snacking cake.
A what?
A snacking cake.
What does that mean?
That's right. Oh, have you heard of cake? Yeah. Well, snacking cake is basically...
Yeah, we've heard of cake.
Have you heard of cake?
Yeah.
Well, snacking cake is a cake that's basically a little bit less sugary, so you can have it whenever.
Do you have it here?
Listen,
I don't. I wish.
I kind of believe that you can eat cake whenever.
Well, no. I'm a firm believer in that.
Yeah, okay.
Because I think that people should be able to eat cake for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Agree.
However, snacking cake is sort of the idea of, well, hey, if you're going to eat cake all the time, this is a snacking. By the way, it tastes like cake. But it's a book called Snacking Cake.
Okay.
And I made it, and it was a cake, and it was like maybe a little less sweet. Pumpkin olive oil was the cake.
Olive oil?
Now I know what you're thinking. Olive oil, that's a savory. But sometimes
that's a savory.
That's exactly what he was thinking.
Sometimes olive oil can be a sweet.
And so was like Marie Antoinette busy today, or why are we here?
Well, basically.
So are we eating cake?
No, not at all.
No eating cake.
That's I like to tip the episode off with sort of a perfect thing that I did recently.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Got it.
So I made a snacking cake, and that was fun for me because not only was I baking, and that was sort of like, I'm interesting because I do that, but it was also, it was a snacking cake. And I had a little bit for breakfast this morning because
It's a snacking
If you're
cake.
making a snacking cake.
you might as well have it whenever.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Well, obviously, I'm here with Lauren and Jeremy of Wild Til 9, the show about a wild frat star who met a craft YouTuber, and boy, do they love each other.
How annoying.
We're hand hugging.
They're
you
hand
imagine?
hugging. If you're listening to the audio, it's a very cute hand hug.
If you're listening to the audio, you need to go open the video now. Hi, thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Welcome to the show.
Why
I
don't you
feel
make
like I just
snacking
got
cakes?
blue balls on not eating cake though right now.
Yeah, I was blue balls until I heard it was olive oil in there.
Okay,
Yeah.
but have you ever had like an olive oil cake? They're kind of fire.
I actually have, and it was not bad because I'm not an olive oil kind of girl, but
You're not an olive. That honestly, that's rare. I feel like, and we're in a very olive oil dominant food space.
We are.
I know we really are.
You're also allergic to everything, so you should probably figure out how to become more of an
just
olive
almonds.
oil.
Just
Almonds, so no almond oil.
No almond oil.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
Wait, so we're not eating cake? Is that really a thing?
I'm so
Honestly,
stuck on the we're not eating cake situation.
now I'm regretting it because I believe that I've made you hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
a little
my
bit.
own space.
Little
Yeah.
bit.
And I hate to have made my guests hungry and then not deliver. And I
It
do
was
have,
kind of like
But that's what we're
when,
doing.
When,
No,
when
but
I when I hyped us up
that's what
for
we're doing.
Moldovan cookies, and then I produced the
By the
Moldovan
way,
cookie.
yeah.
I was like, oh, we're about to eat some fucking cake right now. Hell yeah!
Honestly, well, by the way, if I had made you guys a cake, that would have been really, really good. But I didn't.
So we can come back.
Yeah, maybe
So
let's
we'll be back.
reschedule for next week. Glad you guys are here. But anyway, guys, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Miles.
My
Yes.
first question is really, what makes you guys perfect? Because obviously you have another podcast. Obviously you just got engaged, which is very exciting. But people are on the show to hear you guys answer calls and advise the people who are calling in live to the show.
Oh, no.
Live?
They're going to be live on the phone. That's right,
Really?
Lauren, do it yourself. And
Oh, I'm
Jeremy,
excited.
do it yourself also.
Oh, I need an HR person.
Do
Yeah.
people, by the way, call him Jeremy do it yourself?
No. Also, the word, like the name Jeremy, already has a deceiving amount of syllables.
Jeremy. It
You know what I
should
mean?
be less.
It should be less. The way that it looks, it should have less syllables.
Every Jeremy out there knows that like they're in trouble when all the syllables get pronounced. Jeremy.
Oh, you can really drag it out if you're
Jeremy.
mad.
Jeremy.
Jeremy.
When Donna
too long.
Lewis.
You can add an on the end and it makes four
Jeremy.
syllables.
Yeah, no, it's not great. Why are we perfect? Lauren literally brings all of that.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah.
So
Thank you so much.
You rely on some of the sort of afterglow of her perfection.
I just keep the servers running.
The server's running.
By the way, I do love that you are a technical boy.
I was talking about sex. Okay, yeah, no, sorry.
You keep the servers running in the sex.
So I'm LaurDIY, and this is actually TSJ, Tech Support
Yeah.
Jeremy.
Love that. Love a TSJ.
Although I'm getting tired of tech support. I think I'm done. I'm gonna go live a yogi life and have no tech pretty soon.
You would last 4 seconds as a yogi.
Well, as long as there's good air conditioning.
I actually have been recently wanting to get a hobby that doesn't require me to like be on my phone.
Yeah.
And I think that is the toughest part of like doing doing this for a job.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is that it's just sort of, I don't know. I'm like, I
Did
would
you just go
love-
full time on things that require tech?
Exactly.
Yeah,
I
you're
went
like, oh
fully
no,
full time.
fuck.
Yeah. I know, fuck. But I would like to, recently I've been having a desire to be like, what if I got into, I don't know, my plants or something, just
Pottery.
something that requires me to like, maybe I can listen to music, but I'm like not near my computer.
Yeah,
I feel like that would be attractive
No, we're
to me.
chronically online.
I know, it's a mess.
I literally took up during the pandemic landscape lighting. I did.
Wait,
I figured
not
out.
kidding.
what does that mean?
It means picture this man with a headlamp on and gardening gloves.
At night?
Well, it's difficult to adjust the lighting that's only going to be seen and viewed at night during the day because you got to see where it catches the lights and you got to get the
Big lighting
uplights
guy.
and everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you're focusing on the lighting in your home at night with a headlamp
The
on?
outdoor lighting.
The outdoor lighting. Got it.
That will illuminate our shrubbery.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're trying to give, for lack of a better term, the best like upskirt angle on
Yes.
a bush in the front of your house.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly it.
Write that down. My mom wants to know what I do for a living.
Mom,
Yeah.
here's what it is at Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, I finally
do
got the words.
upskirt lighting for my bush.
but for like bushes so everyone can see.
Yeah, so everyone,
All the neighbors.
That's
yeah.
right. All
so
the
yeah,
neighbors can see.
but there's something about just going out and doing a thing that's physical that you can electrocute yourself with, but you don't
Yeah.
most of the time.
Don't do that.
Most
That
of the
just
time.
feels better than sending emails.
You know how he gets a height on his hair? A little electrocution.
No, she's got jokes.
Oh, by the way, Jeremy's hair could
Hasn't
cut
been washed
glass.
in
I
days.
love it. Really, I mean, it looks fantastic. It always does, though.
Thank you. The camera will hopefully mask the everything.
Ask the everything about it.
Wait, so what kind of people are we talking to today? I'm like nervous and excited.
Well, we're about to get right to it.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you want to say what makes us perfect that has to do with me?
Oh.
Yeah, please.
Well, we talked about how good your lighting is.
Yeah. What
and
else?
you keep our servers going.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And then Lauren does everything else? Is this what it sounds like?
You know what Jeremy did? This is so random. We had a
Please.
box of produce show up on our doorstep today and some like fresh farm eggs. And he got kind of bamboozled by a door-to-door saleswoman.
I was not bamboozled.
You were a little bamboozled, I think.
Hey, we've all been boozled by a salesman.
Not.
Jeremy's usually in the position of doing the boozling.
Yeah, I
though.
do the boozling
Yeah,
around
he
here.
does the boozling.
You do read as a professional boozler.
Boozler?
Yeah, exactly. But like we're actively on a meal prep plan where like prepped food shows up at our door.
Sure.
And so like even if we weren't eating pre-prepped food, we have no use for massive heads of kale and
Right.
celery and potatoes.
Mhm.
Like, listen, will the apple at the bottom of the box probably get eaten? It actually did on the way here. But like the
You're
rest of it, I'm
Hey.
like, what the fuck are you planning to do with this box of produce?
You know,
Yeah.
sometimes it's easier to just buy the thing and have them leave than sit there and tell you like why I don't want to buy it.
Oh no, I'm gonna shutting that shit
That
down.
is so funny.
I usually am, but I feel like when they're nice and not a dude and not
Yeah.
like breathing into my neck and like making me feel weird, I'm like, how much? Fine.
yeah.
The way
Buy a
that,
box
like,
of fresh farm eggs.
Door-to-door salespeople used to sell vacuums, and now
Oh.
it's overpriced organic produce.
Yeah, I bet during the pandemic, I feel like we did that where we're like, well, it's a box of produce from a local farm. And it was like, all this is rotting in our
I
cupboard.
will say the sticker looked a little national enterprisey that was on my apple.
No, literally, I opened the box and I was like, what is the plan with this?
What is the plan with all the fruit?
So now that you know that we're perfect, let's talk to other people.
Let's talk to the other people. But before we do, if you like the show, you can consider rating and subscribing it on all platforms so you don't miss a single freaking episode. And if you love the show, consider joining us on Patreon where there are ad-free extended versions of every single episode, including this one where we freaking got into it. Okay?
I'm gonna be
did?
honest, I think that portion might be better than everything I've delivered in the last 10 minutes since the episode
Oh,
started.
I'm
That's
confident I'm getting worse.
We
for sure.
front-loaded the
We
episode.
front-loaded for sure. This is all downhill from here now.
It's all downhill from here, so check that out. And there's also bonus episodes on Friday where I call back people from the show to get their updates on my stunning advice and how it changed their freaking life.
Really?
That's the best part is hitting the
You
update.
closed the loop?
I close the loop and I say, how did this go? And they usually say, kind of bad. But until then, we've got callers and we've got answers. We are going to take a call from someone here who's looking for a little piece of advice.
Oh no.
This is a really nice one of someone who needs to figure out how to recover from a big embarrassment.
Let's do it.
Hi, Miles. I am in college and I really, really like this girl, but I threw up in her car and I don't know what to do. Call me back. Thanks. Bye.
Short and sweet, baby.
Short and sweet,
oh my
baby.
God.
We're going to need some details on the romance that made her vom. Because that's going to be the thing that we're going to...
I'm so nervous.
Don't be nervous, Jeremy. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hello. You called perfect person, and I'm here to call you back. I'm here with Jeremy and Lauren of Wild Til 9.
Oh my God. Sorry. I have to leave. I am in the dining hall right now.
Get out of the dining hall and into the streets because we're going to need to hear your problem so we can help you rightly.
Oh my God. I need help. Okay.
Okay. So
I'm almost out.
finish your mac and cheese and get to the door because we've got answers.
Okay.
Okay. So what happened? You threw up in someone's car, but why don't you give us a little context for who you are and who this person is?
Oh, absolutely. Okay. So can I get a fake name?
Yeah, absolutely. It's got to be
Michael.
Michael.
No, Sandra. It's a girl. It's a girl.
Oh, I lied. Don't call her Michael.
Your name is
Sandra.
Sandra. It's got to be Sandra.
Sandra.
Michael. Jeremy.
Okay, Sandra's perfect. Okay, so I'm a sophomore at college, you know.
Okay.
I'm a theater major,
Go theater.
chilling.
Go theater.
Oh my God, I've told this story so many times. This only happened like last Saturday. So essentially, me and this girl met on Tinder because I'm like trying to meet people like on my campus and stuff. And I found out she's like on the wrestling team with the same team that both of my roommates are on.
Okay.
So like they're all in the know. We were like gonna drive like 20 minutes to this other town to like go hang out and stuff. And I have diabetes and I had like a really low blood sugar and I was like trying to play it cool. And I ended up just feeling so nauseous in the car and I was like, hey, so like I'm just not feeling so well, and she was being super nice, and then eventually I just threw up all over her car. And I was so nervous, but it was fine. She was like super sweet. I was not expecting her to like be that nice to me because I was a fucking... But yeah. Then
So okay, I have a couple follow-up questions.
Yeah.
So were you in the front seat or the back seat when you unleashed your vomit?
Jesus.
I was in the front seat, the passenger right,
Okay. Wow.
and it was just us in the car.
Got it. So you were in the front seat, and did you have a receptacle for the vomit, or did you? Was it sort of a dash situation?
Oh, girl. I mean, it was everywhere. Like, I kept it to the side because, like, I was getting anxious before. And so, like, I kind of got, like, an anxious tummy ache. And my friend was like, don't throw up on her, like, joking. And I was like, haha, I would never do that. So I didn't throw up on her, thank God. But, yeah, it was, like, all over the door and me and everything.
Oh, God. Okay.
Yeah.
So how did this end? So you sort of unload accidentally in her car. And did she go, oh no? And then you sort of like, I gotta go. Like how did the situation end? And then what are you trying to rectify?
I was super surprised. She was so nice. I was so thankful. She was so nice. We like stopped at a gas station, cleaned up the car and me a little bit so that we could drive the other 20 minutes home. And then we ended up driving back, and like I went and threw my stuff in the wash and then came down and helped her clean out the side of the car, even though she like kept insisting. She was like, no, you don't have to help me. And I was like, girl, I'm going to help you. Then after we cleaned up pretty much all of it, she did a really good job cleaning up the car. It was spotless. I was very surprised. We went back to her room and just kind of like hung out and talked, and it was chill, and I couldn't stop apologizing.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, I think that probably, so this is someone you want to like kiss and or / keep seeing, keep dating, but you guys are right now like friends, and you've set yourself back, unfortunately, by vomiting in her car. But I think that
Absolutely.
I have a huge opportunity for you. But first, I want to hear from you guys. What do you think the advice is on how to rectify the situation?
Well, personally, I think this feels like a trauma bond.
Same.
Exactly.
This is a trauma bond.
Same.
I think.
Okay.
Think about it.
Yeah.
No, like this is one of those stories that when you hear it back in 10 or 20 years, like, how'd you guys meet? Well,
This
it's
is
a
her meet
funny
cute.
story.
That's a really
Yeah.
good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like because this was more of like a medical event and not like a blackout drunk, like
Completely.
messy, situation, it makes it so much better. Because I going into this without the context, I definitely thought that like it was just you were blacked and she was giving you a right. She was being responsible DD and you yacked.
Yep.
This is so much
Blacked and
better.
yacked.
And instead, since you're diabetic, having someone who understands that, and also is like down to just like be your partner, when you get a little sick, is also important. I think this might have like actually really just accelerated the relationship in the right direction.
I agree with that.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think that there was like we haven't given your prospective lover a name, but it's got to be Mandy. So
Sandra.
Well, no, it's no. She is Sandra.
she's Sandra.
Wait.
You are Sandy, and she is Mandy.
Patty.
Right, fake names.
Mandy Patty.
My God, that's so funny. Okay.
So Mandy, it sort of is reflected on her character because she stepped up to the plate and she said, by the way, you vomited, but it's totally okay. Let me clean the car. Let me make sure you're all right. And then you drove another 20 minutes. And I gotta say, that is devastating to me.
Yeah.
Just to have, I know the feeling of like you make a sort of like an awkward thing happens and then you're like, we got 20 more minutes of
If
car.
it's not the actions of my own consequences.
Yeah, exactly. Sitting in the car, you could still see a little smear of vomit that you mostly cleaned up.
Yeah, you don't want to like point it out. You're just looking at it like, does she still see it?
Does she still see it?
Okay, I have a proposition though. Here's what I would do personally.
Yeah, please.
I'm someone who has like an emergency car kit of all the possible things that I could ever need. What if we build her like a cute little car thing? So it's like you've got your Kleenex, paper towels, you've got some Pepto.
Hell yeah.
I'm a walking pharmacy for the most part. So like I have a copy paste of that in my car and I recommend that for everyone. And so it could be a cute gesture to be like, so sorry that I yacked into your car door. Here's
and dash and seat
And seat
and floor mats.
Here's a gesture in case anyone else ever feels ill and also maybe here's, I don't know, I don't really know about diabetes too much, but here's a lollipop for me next time I need a sugar hit.
I actually really love the idea of as a flirty little gesture. Here's this little kit for your car, and here's a lollipop for next time we hang out.
There we go.
Yeah.
Is really
There we go.
cute.
I just feel like you can solve all problems right now with a boo basket.
Ooh.
Oh, by the way, talk to me about the boo basket because I've seen the word be thrown around.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I fully understand.
Sounds like your wife hasn't got a boo basket.
She does not have a boo basket. But by the way, I would love to give her a boo basket. Is it a Halloween thing?
It's a Halloween thing, yeah.
Okay, got it. I make her like a little smorgasbord of treats.
Yes.
So make her a on the go boo basket.
A car boo basket.
Car boo. And what do you like about this person, by the way?
Oh my God, I could go on for so long. My roommate's gonna laugh at me. She's here right now. I don't know. It's like, I don't know, like a lot of things.
That's so cute.
I can feel the blushing
most
happening. Yeah, you can feel the blush.
That's too cute.
Girl, my face is so red right now.
Your roommate is there right now, by the way. Was your roommate present for the vomit or just knows this person?
No, it's just them two.
Oh, it's just you.
No, but I called her as soon as it happened.
Good.
I said, hey, I threw up in the car.
God. Poor thing. Yeah, I think probably a combination of the boo basket's adorable, and then also like I think you can work some flirting into this sort of deficit.
I think so too.
That has been like, hey, by the way, I'd love to buy you dinner
because I owe you.
Because I owe you.
Because I
throwing
yacked in
up.
your car.
And where are we going? The most romantic restaurant in town, actually.
Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, actually, it was really sweet. So I like texted her that night, like, I'm sorry and everything. And what can I do to make it up to you? And I'm going to buy her, like, I'll do the boo basket thing. That's actually a really good idea. But I was like, next time I see her, I was going to give her like a box of like air freshener, like car air freshener.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, that's cute. Yeah.
She texted me back and was like, so nice. She was like, it's totally fine. If you really want to make it up to me, like, let's just hang out again. But maybe you should drive.
Down,
no, what was that? Did you just hit the
Sometimes it's positive. Sometimes the fart's positive.
Happy fart. Happy
Can
fart.
we get a happier sound?
Yeah, there we go. Yes, there we go. There's the one.
Yeah.
No, but I think that okay, it's so on then, by the way.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
in.
Are you
in.
nervous about this? Because you shouldn't be.
Yeah, no.
Your
this is
vomit
great.
has
Okay,
literally
okay, 'cause
sealed the deal.
This is the ultimate icebreaker.
That's what my mom was telling me. She was like, I think this makes you guys even closer.
Trauma bond.
Trauma bond.
You've already got mom bought in. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
We have to hear
a
follow-up.
I gotta hear follow-up from you for the Patreon show. So text the hotline when you have an update, and I'll give you a call back because I gotta find out how the romance is gonna
when's
grow.
the next date?
Yeah, when's the next date? When are you hanging out?
Absolutely. This Saturday.
We already got in the books?
It's on the books.
Yeah.
You'll be hearing from us on Sunday morning.
We will call you on Sunday morning.
Amazing.
Thank you so much for calling in.
My God, okay.
I really appreciate it. And by the way, yeah, you've got this in the bag. This is so sealed.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for calling me back. It's so therapeutic to talk about this.
Nice talking to you, Sandra.
No problem at all, Sandra. And you have fun with Mandra or Mandy when you see them on Saturday.
Oh, boy.
We'll talk to you later.
Oh, my
Thanks for
gosh,
calling in.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Oh, my God. That was cute.
That was adorable.
By the way, I do think that it's totally right, though. Like when some big wild event happens that's like embarrassing things, if they're tuned to the right frequency, bring people together.
We had one.
What was your embarrassing
Can't
thing?
tell you.
No way.
Can talk about it after we stop recording.
It was
with
so
you.
embarrassing. You're not willing to have it on recording.
I would tell you.
You've never had it on recording?
I would tell you.
We don't.
Okay, well, don't tell me what it is, but like what world was it in? Was it like an embarrassing... Was it embarrassing? Like
It was a bit of a public assault.
And I was not the assaulter.
Oh my
He was
God.
the assaultee.
There was an accidental, and was it in the world of like something fell and accidentally, it was an accidental.
It was an intentional assault.
Let's just say
Miles
that
is glitching right now.
My brain is spinning.
I'll tell you after.
Curious.
Anyways, it was a trauma bond situation where, in my mind, I was like, "Oh, he's never gonna call me back." So he'd only been on one date. I was like, "Oh, that'll be the last that I ever hear from him again." Like that's the end of it.
Can you imagine? I was put in the position where somehow I wasn't the one that fucked it up early.
Oh wow!
I mean,
That's
it was
actually
it was fate.
That's honestly huge for you, by the way, because it only would have been a matter of time.
It was the first and last time that I woke up the next morning and didn't go, well, I've got some apologizing to do.
That's funny. I'm thinking about Sarah and I's first date, and she was 30 minutes late to our date.
That's kind of a lot.
Which is a lot, but it's because she was running. I mean, she's always running late. She's a late runner. I'll say that.
Really?
Yeah.
But she had gone to the wrong bar. There's two versions of this bar. She went to the wrong, and maybe that was also an excuse, but she was running late and whatever. But then after she got there, I sort of was like, oh, this will be kind of fun.
Was it the gaming bar, the one that they have in Santa Monica?
Was it Barney's Beanery?
No, it was not.
No, not Barney's Beanery. No, the one that we've been to that has the mini putt.
Oh, I've always wanted to go to that, but I've never been.
Which one?
The one that, remember we used to go to it all the time? There was one
Busby's East?
Busby's! Was it Busby's?
It was not Busby's.
They closed.
There's a bar called The Study. But then, but yeah,
I've
they're
been to
gone.
The Study.
The Study's nice. It doesn't exist
studies?
anymore. I think there's two studies in Hollywood. But anyway, I sort of gave me the upper hand to be like, oh, you know what I can do? Like, she's almost going to expect that I'm frustrated by this. I won't care at all, and I'll make it fun. I'll be like, by the way, no word. Like, I was sort of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was able to just be like, oh, this is great. Like
possible layup opportunity.
She's going to be embarrassed about this as if I'm going to be frustrated. And I was just like, I don't actually, whatever. Like, this is this beautiful girl going on a date
time
with me.
doesn't matter. Punctuality, not a big deal.
We don't care.
Okay. No, but it kind of was a little bit nice. I don't know. Embarrassing things are cute. Well, we got to get back to the phone lines. Guys, let's do it. Need our help.
No, I get it.
NBA fans, the wait is over because basketball is back and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is celebrating with an unbeatable offer. New customers can score $200 instantly in bonus bets for throwing down $5 on the NBA. Win or lose, it doesn't matter, baby, because you'll start the season with an instant dub. And with DraftKings parlays, everyone's got a shot at even bigger basketball wins. String together multiple bets from the same game or build your parlay across multiple games for a shot at making your payday even sweeter. If you like watching the big game and placing a bet, then DraftKings is the right king for you. King. Basketball's more fun when you're in on the action. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code PERFECTPERSON. New customers can get $200 in bonus bets instantly for betting just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code PERFECTPERSON. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort KS. Licensee partner Golden Nugget, Lake Charles, LA. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball. Terms for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources. Sleep is actually that good. And I know I'm actually the first guy to talk about it, but it's good to have sleep. As we get older, our responsibilities and challenges increase, causing stress levels to rise. Prioritizing quality sleep is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. Instead of lingering on your phone before bed, make sleep your simplest self-care routine with the Hatch Restore 2. Think of Hatch Restore 2 as your bedside sleep guide, your ally in rest. The innovative all-in-one Dream Machine is a sophisticated sound machine, light, and alarm clock beautifully designed for your bedside table. Good rest allows you to be the best version of yourself, which is why the Hatch Restore 2 was engineered to help you form healthy sleep habits for life. Your Hatch teaches your body when it's time to sleep and when it's time to rise with light and sound cues. Blah-biddy-boo. It coaches you through meditations and mindfulness exercises that transform the time before and after sleep into restful rituals. I am somebody that typically before was a fan sleeper or an air conditioning unit sleeper. I like to have a hum, I like to have a noise, and the Hatch Restore 2 is looks very chic. It sits on my nightstand, and when it gets a little bit too chilly to maybe run the fan or the AC unit, I can go to sleep with the pitter-patter of a gorgeous little babbling brook or stream, and the light is waking me up softly and gently, like I'm a little lamb waking up in a meadow. Great sleep can't be forced, but it can be learned, and the Hatch Restore 2 is here to help. Right now, Hatch is offering our listeners $20 off your purchase of a Hatch Restore 2 and free shipping at hatch.co/perfectperson. Sleep deeply and wake gently with the Restore 2. Go to hatch.co/perfectperson to get $20 off and free shipping. That's hatch.co/perfectperson.
There's one about a looming nuptial, a looming wedding. And I got to ask, how long have you guys been engaged?
Forever?
10 months.
10 months? Is this something you're thinking about at all? Or are you kind of just let's let it ride and we'll figure out the wedding later?
Oh, the wedding planning?
Yeah.
Oh, no, we're deep in the wedding planning.
You're deep
right
in.
now.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. I just had
Wonderful.
a 2-hour meeting yesterday.
Literally, Lauren
Holy
doesn't
shit.
live her life in we'll just see how it happens. We'll see how it
I'm
goes.
not a go with the flow kind of individual.
Honestly, I love that for you.
whatsoever. There's
No flow, I'll
What
go.
time does the flow start? Where are we meeting? What do I wear to
Can
the
I
flow?
bring sweatpants?
There's only one flow and it is a riptide.
And
it
it's
is on.
tight, and it is happening.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
it's in the calendar ahead of time.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. That's
Yeah.
good to know.
No, we're getting married in the spring.
Oh, sick. All right, very exciting.
Yeah.
My goodness. Okay, cool. Well, this will be relevant.
Hey, Miles. So I have a little conundrum,
Oh, boy.
and I need your help.
Love a conundrum.
So my vision and my partner's vision for our wedding are complete polar opposites,
Oh.
particularly regarding the guest list. Like, who do we really need to invite? And am I a total bitch if I don't want his entire family? I swear I'm not a bridezilla, but if I am, you can tell me and I'll take it.
She doesn't mean
Please help me.
Oh my, I have fucking thoughts. Call this girl
Let's
right
go.
now.
that. I hope she picks up.
I have thoughts.
No, it's so complicated.
You're joking.
Hello. Thanks for calling Perfect
Hi.
Person. I'm here to call you back, and I'm here with Lauren and Jeremy from Wild Til 9.
Hi.
Well, hello.
Hello.
So why don't you give us a little bit of background here? We've got a lot of thoughts regarding your voicemail, but I want to hear it from you. What is the disagreement that you and your partner are having about the wedding guest list?
Also, I just want you to know that I also am actively planning Jeremy and I's wedding
Yes.
in the spring, and I'm team bride. But go ahead.
Yes,
Go
I
ahead.
watched
Team Pride.
all of your videos. I love them.
Oh, great.
So my conundrum is that I have a very small family. Like, I have 10 people to invite, legit, and they're mostly friends. Like, I've got 2 brothers and their wives and my mom and my dad, and that's quite literally it.
Mhm.
No aunts, no uncles. And I just feel like big weddings, first of all, if that's in your budget,
Mhm.
congrats. But It's not really in mine. Like, I'm a nurse, and my fiance is in conservation. So, like, we're not making the big bucks.
Environmental conservation is not typically a billion, sort of a easy money cash out industry.
No. BlackRock's looking at
it. Kind of the opposite. Yeah.
Right.
He has the world's biggest family. He's like one of 5 siblings. He's got 1 million aunts and uncles. His mom has 7 brothers.
Oh my God.
All of his
crazy.
Grandparents are still alive.
Catholic?
He's got nieces and nephews. And I'm just like, first of all, he doesn't talk to like any of them ever. There's several he hasn't seen in like 10 years.
Okay.
And I'm like, come on, do we really, like, this is expensive. If it was free, everyone can come. But also, like, this feels like a really intimate, private event that, like, I don't want people we haven't spoken to in 10, 20 years. Like, that seems like a lot.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
Who's funding the majority of the event?
Good question.
That is kind of undecided, but it's like us.
Okay.
But like I am so me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's coming out of your wallet.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's important.
That is really important. Okay, so I have a lot of thoughts, but I'm curious. I saw Lauren sort of shimmering as as you went on. But Lauren, what are your immediate thoughts?
It's like a kettle winding up.
I just genuinely believe that if it's not someone that you have an active relationship with, or someone who doesn't like make the, and you know, effort goes both ways in terms of like having a relationship with family members. But if it's someone that you haven't seen, haven't spoke to, don't have a relationship, maybe haven't even met before, and you're having to cash out a per head price per guest, like I just feel like those people don't make the cut. I also would highly recommend, and I don't know how you feel about kids, but for us, like it's an easy cutoff of being like, here's just like a blank statement of like no children, because I think that helps as well too.
Yeah, that helps.
And I think that if you're self-funding, you guys get to make the call. And if he wants to, I guess when you get married, like your money kind of goes into a joint pool.
It becomes the same in a lot of ways.
Right.
His family was covering the costs of having like his entire extended family because it's important to like his parents or his grandparents. I think that that's one thing.
Yep. Yeah.
And that situation becomes different. But when you're funding it,
you got to ask him to conserve on the budget. Okay?
Yeah, I think that's totally right up. And by the way, now that I have a little baby, I think actually it is a good way to weed people out, because we might not go to a wedding if it meant that one of us had to stay with the child.
Yeah.
So like that is immediately going to weave it out. That being said, I don't think you need to invite all of the family if you don't talk to them that much. That's tricky.
That's my thought.
Yeah, that's tough.
Because like he has like 2 aunts that we genuinely talk to, but like he's of the thought of like, if you're inviting that tier of family, like if you're saying I'm going to invite aunts and uncles, that you have to then invite all of the aunts and uncles.
It's so hard.
And when that, like, we're talking about like 40 people alone in just the aunts and uncles category between all of his family. And I have no aunts and uncles. So it's just kind of like, it's just becoming a big gathering of like his family. It's going to become a family reunion. And it's like, we don't know these people, but it's like, I feel like I can't convince him that like, no, just invite the ones you genuinely see and talk to.
What we did was we had 2 backyard weddings. And I know what you're thinking. Wow, you saved on the money. We certainly did not.
You've got fancy tastes.
Yeah,
Miles.
that's right. We saved on the venue, but we got like really great food. We got an open bar. Like we tried to make it as great as possible. But one of those backyard weddings was in North Carolina at my parents' house. And that was all family. With the addition of like maybe 6 friends that were local or whatever, but it was like 100 and whatever person wedding. My parents, helped organize that, but that was in their backyard. Then we did an LA wedding, and it was all friends.
Yeah.
So that was great. And honestly, if I had to pick, like both of them were so magical and wonderful, but if we really had a more conservative budget than we did, I might have just done the friends and parents wedding. Like our parents came, and I wanted to see all our family, but it's like I also have a hot tip for weddings that I think. There are people in my life that I met several months before the wedding that were not invited because wedding invites had already gone out and the thing was tight.
Tough.
but those are people that I wish were there, and I would have traded them out for some of the older flame hangouts that I'm like,
the old legacy friendships.
Yeah, like there's some legacy friendships there that I'm like, are we going to be friends forever? And there's some people that weren't there that I'm like, in my head, you were there because you mean so much to me now.
Right.
And in a lot of ways, a wedding guest list is an investment in the future of your relationships.
Yeah.
So I think that like, it's okay not to invite some people that you don't talk to that are like obligation invites.
Yep.
But it is crazy stressful. Excuse my burp.
I also think that like even just getting to like, okay, what do we want to spend? What are we comfortable spending?
Yeah.
And then working backwards from just a realistic perspective of like, okay, if we want to end up here.
Right. Maybe it's just siblings and parents.
Yes, right.
And no one from the aunt and uncle. And also too, if you have that relationship with the aunts that you are close with on his side, I'm sure that they would understand if you guys did something separate.
Yeah.
It's an easier conversation, I think, to explain why they're not invited than for like the conversation of some of them are invited, some of them are not, and then having like a family explosion.
And it's not going to be perfect. Some people will be upset or whatever, but like it is your day.
Yeah, completely. Don't worry. There's so much pressure between family. I would also say maybe do a friend's wedding and then do what you call a family tour, where before the wedding, go to your hometown or whatever, see all those people, pay for a fucking open bar, a couple $100 at some little local thing. That's fine too. Like be able to involve them in some way.
Yep.
But I don't know. It's so tough. How are you guys planning on having a big wedding, small wedding? You don't know? You do know. Of course you know.
Are you talking to us?
You two.
No, we're
Both.
so sorry. First of all, you called me.
I know. We called you. Penelope on the phone line. Penelope, say what size your wedding is going to be.
My vision is like 20, 25 people, like friends.
Got it.
Very, very close friends, like your top tier.
Yep.
Wouldn't miss it for the world friends. And then parents and siblings. He's got a big family. He also has a big, big friend group.
Fuck.
Like I've just always been like,
do we just not invite him? Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe
I think he's the problem.
He sounds like the problem. He's got to go.
Take his side out of it, and I think you're good to go.
Bride only wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's your day.
This is your day.
This is your day, truly.
Yeah. No, he's just well liked. Yeah.
He's well liked. I mean,
Bummer.
Everybody loves
that's a bummer.
Yeah.
But so Lauren and Jeremy, what size wedding are you guys?
100-ish.
100-ish?
We'll be under 100 for sure.
Yeah.
Under 100.
Under 100.
Got it. Family and friends.
We both have really small families, and so like hearing this scenario is is just so tough.
I was adopted by a single mom, so it makes it a very easy conversation as far as like, so how many you want to? 3, 4, 5 family
I think we have
members?
15 family members between the two of us.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
And that's like invites. That's not even like how many people are confirmed to come.
Right.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
No, we had, it was 115 in our backyard in LA.
Oh my.
And we made it work, and it was a really wonderful wedding, and it was super fun, and everyone fucking partied, and it was great. But then we also had 100 family members in North Carolina.
I don't even know 100 people.
I don't know.
It was redonkulous. I think you got to hack and slash. It sounds like you don't want this big sort of like ball to get rolling. And I'll also say for people out there, once you plan a wedding, you realize that it is so not even about whether you like the people who are invited or not. It is like weird politics. And you're like, if I invite this uncle, I have to invite these other cousins. And it's so complicated. So I think that you have to kind of ask if people understand, but also hack and slash. Do the thing that's going to be most fun for you.
The salesperson in me wants to figure out a way to make this very, very obvious for him to make the decision that you need him to.
Yeah, that's right. Honestly, probably the way is give him restrictions.
Well, just like at a certain point, like add up the total of what this 120 person wedding is going to look like and go, great, we can now afford to do this in an open air farmer's market before we get kicked out.
Yes, exactly. We can do a flash mob.
Right.
wedding.
Or just like, hey, I don't, maybe you tucked away an extra $100,000 you'd like to just find for this thing.
This is a bring your own dinner type event.
But like, it would be nice for him to go, you know what, actually, I think it's getting kind of expensive to invite all my family. That's what an idea. Yeah.
What an idea. Yeah, maybe lead him to what? If your issue is with your husband specifically, give him restrictions.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to say that the wedding has to be this size. And then group all of the people on a spreadsheet and realize, well, if we just don't invite these people, then we can do it.
Look at that.
Yeah, look at that. How easy.
If you can figure out how to make it his idea, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think also just the financial of it all. If you're paying for your wedding yourself, weddings are so fucking expensive.
So insane.
It's really crazy. But the more stuff you can learn, do it yourself, the cheaper it's going to be. Okay?
Did you say some more things you can Lauren yourself?
You talking to me, Willis?
So... that's going to be, I think, our going advice is give your husband some restrictions.
guidelines.
Rein him in.
Rein him in. No kids, I think, is a huge plus in just getting that number down. And then I think that, you got to hack and slash some family members, especially if you don't talk to them. Like, who cares?
Yeah. Well,
yeah. All right, I'll have them listen to y'all.
You know what? You should send Miles to go deliver the message.
I would love to.
But
yeah,
by the
exactly.
way,
That's how you
perfect in
solve
person.
this problem.
I think what I'd like to close and confirm on, not Bridezilla. Not Bridezilla
Not
at all.
Bridezilla.
No.
You're right.
Totally
Right.
great.
No, so sane.
Yes, completely sane, and you're in the right. You're doing the right
I really
thing.
do feel like an asshole.
You shouldn't. No, not at all. You're not doing
You
anything wrong.
can't invite your family.
No, you can't invite every person in your family. It's not saying you can't invite your family. It's just you got to pick and choose.
You got to pick and choose.
Life's about choices.
Life's all about choices. Well, thank you so much for calling in, Penelope, and I hope you have the best wedding ever.
Best
of all
of luck.
time,
Congrats.
Actually. Best of luck and big congrats.
Wow. Thanks, guys. Super appreciate it.
No problem at all. You have a fantastic evening.
Thanks, you too.
All right,
Bye.
Oof. Tough.
God damn.
She's going to make room for us, though, right?
Yeah, we're all invited.
Yeah.
Right,
And I have a lean +7.
Every time I attend, I have a +7, actually.
It's in my writer.
Have you guys had to make some tough choices?
Nope,
wedding
not at all.
wise? Not at all.
Not
Really?
at all. Not at all. Honestly, having small families, I feel like makes it so much easier.
No, that's huge.
So much easier.
And like, because we've both been in LA, I mean, I'm going on 10 years.
I'm
You're
like
up there.
8.
Like, I don't have even the last time I was engaged. Like, I remember thinking I had this this obligation to really good childhood friends. That, I don't have anymore.
No, I agree.
I think I'm inviting 1-2 people from my high school. I think 1.
I have 2 from high school.
Yeah, I think that was same for me.
And it's because like their friendship has maintained over the course of the last 20 years.
Right.
And I don't feel like I need to just like appease people that I don't even live in the same time zone as and never will probably again.
Exactly. That's how I felt too. Where I think that I was at, when did I get married? When I was 28, 27. But I kind of, the older relationships, like even from college, I was kind of like, there's a lot of people I don't see anymore, hanging out anymore. So you get to cut ties, I think, in some ways. And like, I still love those people if I see them and we'll hang out. But the wedding is, I think it's so different. It's also like if I invited some of those people, they wouldn't know anybody.
Right.
They would not be that, enjoyable.
Yeah, that's the tough part as well too.
And also, like, if they don't like know and love you both, of course there are exceptions, but like they need to be an exception.
That's a big thing as well too, is that like if there's someone, we've been together for almost 5 years. And so if there's someone from either of our lives that the other person hasn't met, it's like, what are they doing there?
Yeah, no, exactly. It's like, well, this person isn't there to celebrate the two of you like being together. Or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's a good point.
There's no world at our wedding that we want to be like, hey, great to meet you.
Yeah.
Like that's such a weird feeling. And
Yeah,
so being able to avoid that, I think, is key.
And there are some exceptions.
No, for us, there was too.
It's a minority.
Yeah. Right. Or it's like if I'm meeting someone, it's someone that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
You're
I've
like,
heard so much about
great
that.
to put
I feel
a
like
face
I've
to a
already met
name.
you.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right,
exactly.
that feeling.
Yeah.
Man, but whew, that wedding planning is stressful.
God, that sucks that it's so uneven too on the family number side.
Doing this live is so fun.
It's crazy. I know, it's fun to talk to people, right?
Yeah.
I feel
TSJ over here, his wheels are
Tech support
spinning.
Jeremy.
Wheels are spinning.
This mixer right here, baby?
Yeah, no, it's
huge.
automatic.
Because we have a Wild Til hotline, but we just have people give us like the details in their
and we have so many
voice
follow-up questions.
Yeah.
Well, we wouldn't be able to do it at 8:30, 9:30, 10:30
We might
at
be
night.
able to.
That's when you record?
Late night hotline?
Late nights,
Late
yeah.
night hotline.
For sure.
Yeah.
Do you have a tech in the studio or do you just do it yourself?
No.
Or do you want to do it yourself?
Lauren does
TSJ.
not do it. No, we have our producer.
Our producer. Yes. That's great. Okay, well, we've got one more call here.
Let's do it.
Miles, I have a very time-sensitive issue. My lady has been slowly uncovering a big family secret that I need to keep secret or get her underneath our devices to also keep the secret. I need your advice. Please call back. Have a good day.
What does that mean?
Under our devices?
Like he needs to get her in on not revealing it to anybody else. Like he needs to tell her and then swear her to secrecy, I guess. We got to get more information here.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm dying.
I'm so curious what the fuck is he's going to be like, my family buried a body.
I
We're
know.
like,
We have to go.
Hello?
hello, you called perfect person. I'm here to call you back to get your family secrets. I'm here with Lauren and Jeremy of Wild Til 9.
Hello?
No way.
Thanks for calling in. We are very sort of titillated by your voicemail.
What is the tea?
Intrigued.
What
to say
is
the
the
least.
secret? And you obviously have to tell us the secret, but we're going to need to give you a fake name, and the fake name is going to be
Roger.
Roger.
Roger. That is me 100%.
Perfect.
Perfect. Roger, why don't you tell us what's going on?
Man, when people call in and they say their hearts are racing when you call back, man, they're not lying. Okay. This is a big deal.
Okay.
Because this secret has ruined relationships before.
I wish you could see our faces.
In your family or like yours specifically?
Me specifically. My brother discovered a few years ago, I would say maybe 9 to 10 years ago, that he was infertile and was trying to have children.
Oh.
Me, being 22 at the time, was asked if I would be willing to donate, and so his wife and him could raise a child because they wanted to keep it within the family.
Shut the fuck up right now, Roger.
Stop it.
Oh my God.
Roger, that is T.
Big T. And so the only people who know this secret that my niece is really my daughter is my brother, his wife, and my father. I have 2 other siblings, and my mother is still alive, and they do not know the secret.
Oh.
Wow, Roger.
Holy shit, fuck.
I mean, Roger, how do you feel about the secret now? And also, how long ago did this happen?
This happened probably 9 years ago. So I'm well into my career. I've had many relationships, and they've kind of figured it out. And within a week of them figuring it out, kind of just fizzled.
Mm. How did they figure? How did they figure it out?
Well, what happens is they see my brother, they see his wife, and then they see their child and go, that looks a lot like Roger.
Really?
Because we look very, very different. And I'm unsure if I should keep this a secret, lie, deceive my current girlfriend of 8 months, and things are going really well. She's like the girl of my dreams. Or let her in on the secret.
So you might have already said this.
Yeah.
Does the kid know?
No, my brother and I have talked to his wife, and we've agreed that we will never disclose this to the child.
Gotcha.
Right. Okay, so I see. Like the risk is that the more people who are not family that know, it's like the more people that just like generally know and could blow the cover within the family.
Right, because you don't want the your brother's child to feel like weird or a strange sense of whatever. You'd like to keep the secret to her. So you're sort of protecting the secret from other people, just then like you don't ever want that secret to get back to the, child, right?
And the other siblings.
Well,
and your mother who is still alive.
I very seldom say this, but I think I'm actually uniquely the most qualified to answer this question in the room.
Oh, sure, please.
Because I'm adopted.
Yeah, right.
Because I'm adopted, I don't remember the day when I found out, like, hey, let's sit down and talk about who mommy is. And maybe there were some other things here. I'm of the opinion that if you do not want that girl to find out the truth and you're going to stick to it, then you need to keep it a secret.
Really? From the girlfriend?
You cannot have this girl wake up at age 15, 16, 18, 20, 30 and have everything she's thought about her existence be a lie. You cannot have it. Cannot happen.
That is really interesting.
So you have to keep that person and like their reality, I think, as the priority. Because at the end of the day, the reason you did all this and went to this great inconvenience and everybody is keeping the secret is for her.
Yeah, sure.
And so now I'm of the opinion you should tell the truth. However, if you're not going to tell her the truth, I think you got to take it to the grave.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I mean, Roger, how do you feel about that? Because again, like I think it is actually it's a very selfless thing that you've done.
Yep.
Like your brother and his wife wanted to have a kid, and you were able to donate your sperm to them so that they could do that.
Yep.
And it's left this sort of very interesting predicament that you're in. But how do you feel about the decision you made then? And also, how do you feel about it now?
I didn't know the repercussions that it might have at the time.
Yeah.
It just felt like the right thing to do for them.
Right.
But now it's really difficult because there's this woman in my life now who I really, really adore and I really love. But there's this kind of thing of there's this person that is technically a part of me. And we've talked and she wants to have children. And she's kind of piecing it together right now. And the reason why this was time sensitive is because I was planning on telling her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but we accidentally ran into my sister-in-law and my daughter at lunch. So she's met her.
Wow.
So do you think about your niece daughter in your mind as your daughter, or have you tried to kind of compartmentalize that as just your niece?
Mm-hmm.
I am the fun uncle.
Yeah.
My brother has relieved me from any fatherly duties.
Yeah.
Or any.
As he should.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That makes total sense. Yeah. But that's so interesting. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, Jeremy, you're throwing me because that's such an interesting perspective. And I'm sort of like, if it was Sarah. Well, so my wife, Sarah, grew up with two moms. And she's talked about this in all sorts of different platforms, so I'm not spoiling her big family secret. But she was raised with two moms, and her mom was sperm inseminated, and at the time there were no records.
Right,
there was nothing. There was no possible way. Her mom was like, "There's no way you're ever going to know who this person is."
Yeah.
He was in the room over, and as Sarah puts it, it was hot. There was no storage. It was like he donated the room over.
Oh,
this is how it was done back then, right?
Turkey baster,
baster, right? So. And her mom was like, "You're never gonna know." And Sarah, all her life, was like, "I know, I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna know."
Damn it, 23andMe.
23andMe comes out. Sarah did it and found her biological grandfather, and then de facto found her biological father. I have met him. He calls her all the time. They have, biology does not at all always mean that people are going to have a connection. It completely does not. But in this case, they happen to totally have a connection.
Yeah.
And I've met him. He was at our wedding, but he asked that no photos be taken of him because his wife knows, but his children do not know.
Yeah.
Right.
See, and that's the thing. I genuinely
I have a question that's odd.
Yeah. Right.
How much does Sarah resemble her biological father?
Unbelievably so. Right. And when Sarah she Googled her grandfather's name, because that was the connection on 23andMe, she saw the picture of her father and was like, "That's me." They resemble each other enough that it was uncanny.
A question for you that's maybe difficult or personal.
Here's my next piece of advice that I might need.
Yeah, please.
In case hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
Because my brother and his wife are both fair haired. They have closer to blonde than darker hair. They have brown eyes. Myself, I have jet black hair, bright blue eyes.
Okay, so I see the problem.
My daughter has those two big features in her, which is heartbreaking for her if she ever grows up and thinks, "Oh, what's going on?" Because even like old pictures of my grandparents, I'm an outlier.
This is
so you can't even pull you got it from your grandparents card.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, is there have you guys revisited the idea of telling her the truth?
Yeah.
Oh, we've never revisited it. It's kind of been like, it was kind of part of the deal of if I'm going to donate, it's kind of just like a fun uncle. Right. She never needs to know. She never has to know.
Yeah.
Because it's sensitive.
She was born, and then it was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, this is so interesting. By the way, first of all, thank you so much for sharing this story of your life with us.
This is crazy.
And I think that
let me tell you, it feels so good to also get this off my chest.
Yeah.
To people who she will never interact with.
Yep. Right, they're totally detached.
Exactly, right.
Yeah.
You guys are now 3 of 6 people. 3 of 7 people who know.
We're taking it to the grave.
And we're taking it to the grave, and also for the tens of thousands of people that also listen to the show.
Right, yeah.
But they will also take it to the grave.
That's true. That's true.
But I will also say, so whatever you decide to do, and by the way, you called in asking about a specific question. It is whether to or not to tell your current girlfriend about the situation. Now, I kind of am like, it's so tough because if it was my wife, Sarah, I would of course tell her. And it's easy for me to be like, well, it's a secret. You don't need anyone else to know. But I'm like, if it was me and it was truly the person that I was like, I'm going to be with this person, then I would tell. When to tell is interesting. Now, what happened when the other relationships in your life found this out and asked you? Did you just sort of spill? Were you like, yes, I did this?
So the first time someone kind of asked me about it, I did tell the truth and it ended poorly. The second time I tried to cover it up and it ended poorly because they just kind of said I was lying to their face. They could kind of tell that I was lying.
Right.
I'm a very bad liar.
Yeah.
Oh, well, hold on. We should have started with that.
Yeah,
we should have started with that.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
That's actually important information.
Yeah, and now this time I just like this is like someone I really don't want to lose. So it's kind of like if I tell her, there's a chance that I'm going to lose, and it's hard to take that leap. And especially it makes it even more difficult that we just happen to run into them in public. Well, so now it's like, if I tell them this, it's like they've met this person, and I don't want that to be the reason why it's coming out. But now it's just, and she's already putting the pieces together, like the first 2 relationships. And I feel like I've dug myself into a hole that I can't really climb out. I'm like Stanley Yelnats here.
Do you think that, like, because you're not the best liar, and also this is something that you do care about, like, truly, do you think it's almost a situation that it's almost impossible for you to be a good liar about? Like, this might not be within something like that you're actually capable of doing. If 2 relationships beforehand have already found out, and now the 3rd one has, there might be just something about you and a connection that you have with this human that's just undeniable for you. And like, that might be the case.
Yeah, right.
From the girl perspective here, of if I was the girlfriend in this scenario, I would 100% want to know. Because I think girls too, like, girls can find out anything. And I think that a lot of girls might be like...
Wrong one. Wrong set.
Not the part.
No. But I just think that, like, if there's any insecurity that you might have had a past relationship with that sister-in-law, you know what I mean? Like, pre-marriage.
That is a good point.
I think getting ahead of that and being able to control how the truth comes out puts you at an advantage to help her understand, like, the very empathy-filled decision that you made to help them grow their family. And I think anyone who you would want to have a forever life with would also understand that and respect that, as long as it comes from you and not kind of from, like, an explosion of like accusation.
Yeah, that's a really thoughtful point, Lauren. And I think that regardless, it feels like if you think she's putting the pieces together and whatever, you definitely do not want her to think that there was some sort of affair or some sort of relationship that you had with this child's mother. And I think that, probably, like, the way to protect yourself from having this sort of, like, accusation falling out thing is probably to tell her. I don't know.
Guys, you guys are wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong.
Okay. But Jeremy, if you were to come on this side, Jeremy is an excellent truth deliverer, because how would you pitch this?
To who?
Like, how would you say this to the girlfriend? Because I feel like Jeremy does a really good job of like, emotionally prepping someone for hard information.
I mean, I to be clear, I would not, because I'm still prioritizing the truth in this little girl's head over everybody else.
No, that's interesting.
And I just want to say quickly, to me, you do have an obligation to be honest to your girlfriend, especially if that girlfriend becomes a long-term, if not forever, partner of you.
Yeah.
But the only obligation I believe that anybody has that is higher than their partner is to the people that they bring into this world. And the moment that you sign up, especially on purpose to bring someone and help someone come into the world, I believe they come before everybody else, including yourself, including your girlfriend, including your wife. And that's the only person that would. But that's just me. And so that's why I have an obligation to that individual. And I do think that you should find a way to talk to the parents and find a way to work towards giving her the truth about her existence. But if that's not on the table, I understand that. I respect it. I then still think that your obligation is to that little girl.
That is a really interesting point, Jeremy. And I think that, like, I get what you mean, where 8 months you've been dating this person, and that seems like a forever thing, but maybe you want to, and I think if you explain it in the way that Jeremy did, maybe if you want to wait a little bit just to really make sure that this is the person, because it's like, if it is your forever person, then like, I don't know, there's secrets that Sarah's told me that I would never tell anyone else, even if, fucking we both die in a fire. Well, I guess I'd be dead, but you know
what I mean?
The
fan. Yeah, you take it to the grave. Yeah,
I would take it to the grave. So it's like, there is that obligation you have to your partner, but right now, the longer lasting obligation you have is to this little girl who's 9 years old.
Yep.
And I agree with Jeremy also, though, that I kind of think from seeing my wife's experience, I think that maybe there should be a plan. 9 is really young. This is a complicated fucking situation.
9's not too young.
Yeah.
9's not too young
You
at
think
all.
so?
No, I think 9's not too young either.
Really?
It's getting to be too late.
This is interesting.
It's getting to be too late.
I think if you start hitting teenage years and you're finding that out,
Then
I think
it's really
that can
challenging,
really throw a wrench in things.
My mom gave me the majority of the information I needed to start forming my opinions at 4.
Yeah, wow.
And I'm so appreciative because I was young enough to still be flexible in my head, and I didn't have to think, who else is lying to me about other things?
And maybe this is a conversation you need to have, Roger, with your
parents.
brother and his wife, and just say that, like, look, I am struggling with this thing where I'm in this. I think that you need to tell them what you've told us, which is I'm in this relationship with this woman that I think might be the one. I don't want this secret to come in between these relationships. What do you think I should do?
But I think also too, like it's the undeniable, like if this daughter had grown up and looked like the parents, that'd be one thing. But like you're gonna face this forever. Yeah. You're gonna face this forever. And so I feel like having a path and having a plan in place is
whether they look like it or not, there's still an obligation. Like the kid comes first above everybody's priorities.
Yeah, totally. I think that makes sense.
Yeah. And Roger, I can feel it I can hear it. You care.
Completely.
Unfortunately, you care. And unfortunately, you're not a psychopath. Unfortunately, you have great feelings and you respect everybody. And like you're doing your best right now to balance everybody else's the promises you made a decade ago with the ones that you're facing right now. And it's like I said, I'm not against transparency. In fact, I want you to be more transparent. I just want you to be able to be in a position where you don't feel like you're taking something away from someone by being as honest or as truthful to other people you care about. You've got to find a way to be able to be the person that you want to be, which is honest while still respecting everyone's boundaries, what the truth is, and also not setting anybody up in the world that's literally half of your DNA to one day maybe wake up and have to question everything because you weren't the one, or her father or her mom wasn't the one to be able to tell her.
And I think that's apt. And I think also from my wife's experience of this question of like, so my wife's father has this secret where his kids don't know that she exists. Right. She has 3 half sisters that do not know that she exists. And they like are out and around. I think that some of them went to college like in California. So,
but that's okay.
That's okay. Yeah. But if they were to find out, it would crush everything. It would be wild. And I think
it's very fragile.
But it's very fragile. The dad's obligation to that girl.
All these perspectives so much.
Yeah.
And then the next thing that I didn't even think about until you just mentioned that, Miles, is how will my future children feel or react to finding out this information if I were to ever reveal it to my current daughter as well? How would they kind of respond to that? I mean, there's so many. I feel like we should have like an A plan, a B plan.
Yeah. No, there's so many moving pieces here.
Here's what
the A plan is for my girlfriend. The B plan is for my daughter, and then the C plan is for the future kids.
Yeah, I'll say this. I think that, and to clarify, Jeremy, her father wants to tell the kids. His wife is the holdup.
But by the way, I understand that.
And I understand
you got to prioritize the obligations.
But I think that this is honestly, I'm going to be paraphrasing my lovely wife Sarah, but she did a one-person show about this whole experience. She's fantastic. Huge shout out. But what she said at the end is just sort of like this sentiment of the truth right now for you is really messy and really complicated, but it is better. It's better. And you're wondering what you can tell your kids. And I just have the perspective of it is better to have this unique feeling of like, yes, this is my, cousin, but they also have this connection to me that is sort of like nebulous. It is not common. Another thing Sarah says a lot is just like, there's no blueprint for this kind of thing.
Right.
So
I think what'll be helpful too, thinking about the future, like obviously I'm someone who's like, I worry about the future as well too, a lot. But I think what will be on your side is time, because there's already going to be such an age gap. So maybe there's a world, whenever you do bring kids into the world and they're at the age that you might be ready to approach a subject, you can have that conversation with your niece daughter.
Yes, right.
Like it could be together. You know what I mean? Like that helps, I think.
Yeah. All right. So what I'm taking from this conversation is I'm definitely going to have a conversation with my brother.
Yeah. Yes. Start there.
That is your homework.
Start there.
What setting, I need this especially from the female perspective, what setting would you want to be in to receive this information from your boyfriend that he has a daughter that you didn't know about for 8 months, and now this is a secret that you also now need to keep?
Do you guys live together?
Not the moment, but we're like an hour drive away from each other. We're both professors.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
It's an easy drive.
Got it. Oh man. Somewhere comfortable. I think personally for me, I would want to. Okay, I think that there's a good chance that she will need time to process.
Completely.
You know what I mean? Like there's a good chance that like hopefully you guys will have a great discussion. Everything's going to go swimmingly. But I mean, I think regardless, there's going to be a lot of thoughts coming all at once.
I would make it in an environment that
not
she
in a
can leave.
restaurant.
No.
Oh my God, no,
definitely not.
no.
Maybe
Not
I'm
at
thinking.
Olive Garden.
I was thinking her house.
No,
but
I think your house.
I
I
think
think
is
your
better
house.
because
Yeah, I agree.
then you can be like, look, I know that you might need a time, whatever, and I love you, but if you want to go and we can talk tomorrow, that's fine.
Yep. I think at your house, because if she's like, even if you end the conversation being like, I know that's a lot. If you want to unpack and then come back to me with any questions, like she can make the decision to, drive home. Because I think if you were to tell her at her house and then you leave, then she's just left stewing in that. And that's like a lot.
And I also think that you don't sugarcoat it's been really hard. Like, I think you have to come in and set tone at the level of scary that it's going to be, which is not like, I have something to tell you. It's like, I have to talk to you about something that's the most difficult topic that I've struggled with for the last decade. And I want to tell you right now, I understand that if this information comes out and I tell you the truth, you have the choice to not feel the same way about me anymore, which is immediately going to make her think that you killed 3 people and they're in the trunk and you're asking her to help you bury them.
And then this becomes best case scenario when she thinks that you're a serial killer.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I think that's absolutely right. And what you've done is like a really
admirable thing.
And
so remember
selfless
that
thing, and remember that. And it just means that right now you have a situation that's more complicated, but I think you got to talk to your brother and his wife about the ways to move forward, because you've done an admirable and respectable thing for them, and now they're going to help you figure out how to move on in parts of your life that you need to grow in.
Right. Yeah. And she has such a fun personality, and she was hitting it off so well with my girlfriend too when we ran into each other in public. And so like the relationship's there, like they get along, but at the same time, like would it change? It's just it's a complication I didn't think about in the moment when I was asked.
I think this is also an opportunity for you and your girlfriend to become closer as well too, because especially if you really lean into expressing that, like, you feel the need to tell her because you see a future with her, and you also, foresee her as being part of your family, that it's something that you really trust her with.
Leap of faith.
It for sure is a leap of faith, for sure. And it's going to be scary as shit. And I think it's going to go great.
Best of luck, Roger. Should
Should I sing that?
You should sing that.
I
It's a
think
leap of
I wanted
faith.
to tell you something that's scary as shit.
We've given you a lot of perspectives. We've given you a lot of perspectives here, and you're great. Best of luck with everything, and I definitely would love, I understand this may take time, but I would love a follow-up call.
Yes. I imagine that I'll have this conversation with my brother, and I'll end her probably within easily the next few weeks.
All right, Professor, back on our desks in a week, okay?
That's right, Professor. That's right.
Very much longer.
Yeah.
Completely. Well, thank you so much for sharing this piece of information with us.
God, good luck.
Good luck. A fascinating call, and I really appreciate you calling in. Best of luck.
I really appreciate the advice, guys. Have a fantastic day.
You as
too.
well. All right, bye.
Bye.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
That was like by far one of the most interesting calls we've ever had.
That was great.
Because it's got so many levels, and I'm blown away.
I love that they're both professors. Like, go off big brain energy.
Yeah,
Go off.
Brian's even harder though.
No, I know. I'm like, there's too many brain cells. There's too many. You're too smart. You're too smart.
Like, our favorite time of the day is carcass time.
I call it carcass time when I get to be horizontal on the couch with a blanket and doom scrolling. Carcass time.
Doom scroll Tarkus.
But like, don't you think that you have an obligation to your 1-year-old over anybody else in the world?
No, I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's just such a hard and
Also, I want to clarify. I feel like there was one part that you were like shaking your head. I'm not saying that that his future child and his daughter niece all find it at the same time.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying that like step
stupid.
no, that's awful. Like, why blow 2 bombs up at once?
It's like almost like
you guys are related.
a gender
More
reveal
than you
balloon.
think.
I meant like step 1 is like talk to the brother and the sister-in-law.
Right.
Step 2, the daughter, and then 15 years down the line or 10 years down the line, whenever he's like got a kid that's old enough to process this, now you've also settled with this whole thing with your family as well too, and it's anyways, that's what I meant.
Yeah, but also like time, yes, nice, but like, don't let people live a lie too long.
No, I'm just saying if there's literally is a no baby born for another 10 years, I'm saying.
Right.
Instead of he's only 22. So
I really appreciate I feel like you come from such a unique perspective to answer that question.
There's very few times where I'm like, I can be bold because I actually have experience versus like, I can be bold because I feel like it.
Yeah, right.
No, like I feel like I had such a great perspective of being adopted. And when I found out and how all that like that compares to the average kid's upbringing.
Completely.
And it's not scary only because I was able to make that my reality in real time versus have to go back and like pick up all the little pieces and then decide what I actually believed at the time versus what I believe now. And
wow.
Yeah.
I feel like brains are so much more malleable at a younger age.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Wow. Well, guys, we have one final segment, and it's a segment we like to call Get Real. This is a segment where we force a genuine moment in an effort to learn more about each other and ourselves.
Wait, what was the last call?
I know. The last call was very deep,
It was
honestly.
heavy.
We're going to get deeper.
But we're going to get even deeper. We're going to dive even deeper. Well, thank you both for doing the show. I do appreciate it.
Thanks for inviting us.
Now, what is something that you are both working on in your personal life on yourself? Like, what's something that you are thinking about as like a goal for the next several months, year, whatever, that you're just like, this is either something that I feel like I need to correct or something that you aspire to do. And it could be a social thing. It could be a thing with work. What's something that you're working on currently?
Do we have the music the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Lauren.
Oh yeah, baby. Wow. Give us a little harmony, babe.
No.
Okay.
Acapella.
I am aspiring to not drown so heavily in imposter syndrome.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I started a new series that felt like a big risk, and when in reality it was not. I was just doubting myself so hard, and I think that like, you know, the Mr. Beasts of the content creators, it's hard to like look at that and be like how can I even make anything that is 1% in that direction? Did you start it again?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It makes everything feel like I could cry.
I know. This music makes my wife cry. Yeah.
But yeah, just taking risks and not drowning in imposter syndrome, I think is.
Yeah, I love that. What was the series that you started that you were worried about?
It's called Amateur Artist, and so it's essentially just like working with a different creative or an artist type for a day, and kind of like doing a day making pottery. I did a day of glass blowing, and it's been really cool. Like production wise, I kind of just thought that it was going to be too much and that I won't be able to figure it out and I'm not good enough to do it. And here we are, 5 episodes in doing it.
Well, there's just such a I feel like with content stuff, it's so nerve-wracking to change up a format or to change up a routine that you have. That's like, I typically post this type of thing, but I'm going to try this type of thing.
Right.
And it's nerve-wracking too, because you're just like, are the numbers going to support this thing? And even if you enjoy it more,
right,
or it is something that is a new experience, it can feel so dangerous because it like, you're playing with your audience and what they like and whatever. But I think that's really cool. That's awesome. Jeremy, what is something you're working on?
I'm so proud of her for it.
Yeah.
What am I working on? I am attempting to hopefully minimize, if not completely, take all of the ADHD medications out of my life.
Oh, wow.
And fuck, is it hard.
And have you been attempting?
Yes, Miles?
Have you started to take some of those out, and how has that made you feel?
Shitty, awful, terrible, and like a head case. No, but it's like I feel all the things that I think I'm supposed to be feeling. And I don't think, as much as I'd like to rip them out and like go just like balls to the wall and just get it done overnight, that's not the right way to do it.
Completely.
So I think the biggest and most challenging and most real part of it is finding how I can get Lauren into a position to support me by being honest with her, so that I don't have to like be in my head with this process alone. And of course, she's really fucking good at that too.
Yeah, right. Definitely. No, that's. I think that's very valuable. What inspired you to start on that path of trying to eliminate those medications?
You know, for years before you realize that, like, maybe this probably isn't the best health-wise for me.
Sure.
So it's like it's long overdue, and the things that I care about most, I feel like are going to be much more possible for me or much more sustainable in a world where I don't have to figure out how medication fits into my life with all the things that I care most about. And that's got to be the priority. And it's not going to be an overnight thing, but I'm willing to work toward it, and I'm committed to figuring out how to do it.
Yeah, no, and your thing about trying to make sure that you are like informing your partner about the parts that you're struggling with. I also struggle with that because it's like me and my wife have fantastic communication. We are over communicating almost at all times. But sometimes there is a thing of just like, especially when it's something that's insecure or whatever, you feel that in here and you're like, well, I don't want to burden even my partner with that. And it feels so much better to try to express that stuff. Yeah. But I feel like I'm like a pretty communicative person. I'm like, yeah, I'm about mental health. I'm always but then there's just still some things that are like locked up. And it's like, wait, why am I choosing to not receive support from this person that I know would be giving it to me?
But also, they know.
Yeah, they know.
They already know. It's not like it's like a secret. It's like now they finally get to
find out anything.
Women
True. That's why I'm like, I just don't think this kid's gonna not find out about this whole thing, right? But
I know. It's tough.
I just like think that like part of accepting it yourself, the last stage of accepting it yourself is telling the person that you are fearful in your own mind of something to be able to help you.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's been a key for me.
Well, guys, thank you so much for doing the show. That's it.
That's it?
That's the end.
We're gonna have 6 more callers.
This was crazy.
This is the most fun podcast.
Wild,
most fun podcast I've ever been on.
This is wild.
Yeah. Not even bullshitting.
Happy fart.
Cheerful fun.
If I've been on your podcast with it before, it was not as fun as this.
It was not as fun as this.
That was fun.
Well, thank you so much for doing it. I really appreciate it. And where can people catch you guys in Wild Til 9?
More, please.
Awful plug. No, I mean we're Wild Til 9 on all podcast audio platforms.
YouTube and all your favorite podcast player.
And then Amateur Artist is my new series on the LaurDIY main channel.
Follow our dogs.
Follow your dogs
Moose.
at Moose.
The mini bully.
The mini bully.
Yeah, Moose the mini bully. It's been an absolute delight sitting in here answering calls with you.
It's fun.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. And if you're out there and you're wondering, I have a problem, how do I solve it? Just remember that no matter who you are or where you are, perfection is only a call away.
That was a Headgum podcast.